I think we're rolling. All right.
Hi, here we are. I'm not calling this a podcast. I'm just calling this a little chat because I've seen this done and I think it's cool. I think the whole idea is cool. So I'm back with my husband
Hello.
and it is his birthday on Monday. It's his 26th birthday on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted to ask you some questions, just some reflective questions.
Okay.
I just feel like it's a good chance for us to just talk and reflect and record it so we can look back on this when it's your 27th birthday.
Yeah, that always sounds like fun.
First off, how's your day?
My day was good. We went to the Mall of America, which was fun.
We got an espresso.
Yeah, we got an espresso.
We had tomato soup today.
Yeah, I love tomato soup. And her tomato soup is like the best ever.
And we also called a friend today too.
Yeah. Yeah. Called my friend Josh and caught up with him. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good day.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how have you grown as just a man in the last year?
How have I grown as a man?
Well, I didn't say it like that, but
Right.
yeah.
I think I've grown in that I've learned how to trust God. Like in leaving New York, which is a big change. But I'm also not. I don't have a full-time job right now, so I'm trusting God in that way. Learning, how to trust Him with like finances, future, and even providing for you. And so that's been stretching. And I feel like I've been growing in that way. Let me think. I'd probably say that's probably like the number one way. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What have you learned about being a husband while being 25?
While being 25?
Yeah.
So not 24?
No.
Okay.
This is just the last year.
What have I learned?
Mm-hmm. What have you learned about like what it means to be a husband, and what have you learned about how to be a better one or whatnot?
I think it means let me think. I want to answer. Well, let me see. Let me think. Ask the question again.
What have you learned about being a husband in the last year? Because so much has happened in the last year,
Yeah.
Like we've just like grown so much, and so much has happened.
I'm trying to think.
Almost from the lens of like, what would you tell like younger guys, younger you, that you didn't know before?
Right. I'm trying not to say the same thing I said earlier. I think I've learned how to. I feel like I've learned more in 2025 how to like slow down, listen, be more talkative, and communicate more. I feel like with you, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like I'd probably say in 2025 I feel like I learned how to be a better communicator. And in that regard.
Nice.
Yep.
What have you learned about yourself?
Well, I'd say that that like me like and my desire to like make music full time is a God-given thing, and it's not my own thing. Because of the way we left New York and all that. Yeah.
Okay. Random question then. What have you learned about me?
In 2025. Let me think. I feel like in 2025 I've learned a lot. I've realized how passionate you are about things, and I
Really?
learned how yeah, I would say how passionate you are about things. I say I've learned a lot more about how deeply you feel things, and yeah,
Like what?
like and everything. I don't know. Yeah.
Like what things have you noticed that I'm passionate about?
It's like small things that we talk about, like day to day, and then also like bigger things, you stepping into full time ministry and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of what I learned about you. What I've learned about us is that like we really are okay, just you and me.
Yeah.
You know, like I think we appreciate relationships, but because like we need them, you know, in this like walk with Christ, we need relationships, but like we really love to just be with each other.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, especially being here in Minnesota, it's just us. So, and it's like not a lot of other people. Because in a lot of ways we're like starting a new life here, and we were both saying how we both feel like this is like the happiest we've been in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like when we were watching the podcast that we filmed a year ago, and
Yeah.
like we just look
Tired.
so tired.
Yeah.
We look so drained. Like we just like we looked like there was just this heaviness there, even like the way that we were talking, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like I learned like I don't know. I feel like I learned how much just having time to rest is like so good for us.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give to young men in your stage of life, or who are gonna be in your stage of life sometime? Or about like what advice would you give about your season of life?
Okay.
You know, if, like I can think of who you would be like talking to. You know,
Right. Yeah, I would say to not hold too tightly to anything. I would remind them that life is not about them at all. Like even when you think it is, it's actually not about you. I would remind them that the Lord's will is often what you don't expect. He's a higher being than us, so he thinks on a different level. So just keep that in mind. And I would also say don't put anything past God or past yourself either. I think there's a lot of lessons that you can learn in doing something that you would think you'd never be doing, or doing things that you think wouldn't happen. You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
because you're in that right now.
Yeah.
You're in a spot in your life that you never thought you'd be
Yeah. It's true.
on every level.
Yeah.
I feel like because we were talking last night, and you were like, I never would have.
Yeah, I would have never guessed in a million years that I'd be like living in Minnesota. But also like on a positive note, like when we were talking about that, it was like our marriage. Like we never thought our marriage would be this good.
Yeah. Yep. Next question?
Yeah.
Okay. Describe your relationship with Christ right now. Like,
I would
how
say-
is it in comparison to when, you're about to turn 26? How is it in comparison to when you're about to turn 25? Like, how is it different? How is it better, struggling more? How? Yeah, just tell me about it.
Yeah, I forget who I was talking to about this a little bit. But I was saying it almost feels like a new beginning with my relationship with God, which is a great feeling because, your relationship with God should always be growing. It should always be going to like a different place and, or a deeper place rather. And I feel like I've, in some ways, like returned to like me in my mom's basement, like just like singing and playing the piano and writing songs. Like that's all I feel like that is required of me in this season of life right now. And it's like I feel like
In what way? What's required of you right now?
From God. What's required of me from God is that, like me in the basement, like singing, playing the piano. It's like he's returning me to the basics, I think. And like a lot of my relationship with God has looked a lot like what it did when we first started. Which was just singing my heart to the Lord because I wanted to, and because there was nothing better to do, And I feel like in this season of life where I'm like I know that the Lord has called me to go make music and produce and write. I feel like there's like that space that I created with God is like being highlighted again in this season of life for me and him. Yeah. So that's why I say it's like a new beginning, because it feels familiar and it feels like the first beginning. But it feels like a different type of beginning, like another beginning. A new beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say is the hardest part of this season of life? Or what has been like, or you could even say some of the hardest parts of like being 25, but I would say like right now, like what's one of the most difficult things and how can I help you or support you?
I think the hardest thing was probably leaving New York. That was tough.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't as hard as it would have been though, because I feel like the Lord was gracious to us and he made it really clear that we were supposed to go. So in that regard, it was kind of easy. And I do miss home. Yeah.
More than you thought or less than you thought?
No, I think I miss home a little more than I thought, but more than just missing home, I think it was like learning to trust God that that like this was his perfect will for us to like leave our church in New York and kind of entrust that to him, and then I guess believe the word that he spoke, or at least over my life, and definitely like over you too. But like, that I am supposed to be making music,
What do you miss the most?
From New York? I'd probably say being close to family. Like my brother's kids. Like Judah, Elijah, and now Esme. Yeah. Yeah, I would say I miss that the most.
Yeah. What else were you were gonna say something too?
Yeah, I forgot.
What's the most difficult thing?
Oh. Yeah, so I think right now the most difficult thing is yeah, believing that that's true, that I am supposed to be making music, and you know I'm I'm still at the point where like maybe it doesn't even look like you know completely full time, but um but in some regard, like I feel like the Lord is calling me to trust Him in that way and believe that like that's what He said, and that's arguably at least 50% of the reason why we're here, if not more. And yeah.
Yeah. What is something that you feel like you're experiencing, like, right now in a relationship and otherwise, that you weren't experiencing in New York?
So what are we experiencing in our relationship that we're not experiencing?
Or what have you experienced in our relationship that you didn't experience in New York / like just in life? What are things you're experiencing?
Well, we have so much more free time now. So we like I feel like we have a chance to actually like live and like develop a life of our own. Because in New York I was basically working 2 full-time jobs. So it was like 0 time like at ever, like for really anything. But then we also we were talking about what our free time looked like in New York. Do you remember? And it was basically just like sleeping.
Yeah, how we would nap when we were.
Yeah, because it was like we were so exhausted all the time. So here, I feel like I get to experience like what it's like to really form and shape how we want our life to look like down to like what we do every day, which is cool. And I think it's a blessing because it certainly wasn't the case for us when we first got married. We couldn't choose what our life looked like.
It was
just
weird.
kind of given to us. It was like, we need to do this, we need to do that, we're gonna do this. It was now it's like, what do we do? With our time.
I feel like looking back, there were so many things that were required of us that whether or not we enjoyed them, like we enjoyed most of it, but like some of those our jobs and stuff we didn't enjoy, but we didn't even have the capacity to do other things or to think about what else we would want to do with our time.
Yeah.
Like at the end of every day, we were just so tired. We were like, what's the least exhausting thing we can do right now? And that was what we would do.
Yeah.
It didn't really, I don't feel like we even had the brain power to look beyond, or like, I don't think we set any kind of like vision for our marriage, our life together.
Yeah.
I don't think we had a vision for it. I think we were just doing each day.
Yeah. Especially because we started with so much grief and sacrifice and suffering, which sounds so intense, but it
was intense.
But it was, yeah, and that's kind of what it was. Hopefully, people who watch this, already know our story and everything. But yeah, it was that. So there wasn't a lot of time to even think about that. It was more like we were just like. We were joining together for a journey, and like we didn't even care or know what the journey was going to look like. We just knew that
joining together.
We just loved and knew that we were going to do it together.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah, which is beautiful.
Yeah,
which is still kind of the case,
Yeah, I feel like we're still at a point where we have no idea what we are going to do with our life. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we have things we want to do.
Yeah.
But honestly, this whole thing with like Minnesota moving here has made me not hold on to anything too tight.
Yeah.
Because I I don't feel like the Lord revealed or gave me any sort of sense of if we were planting here or if we were just
Here for a little
here
bit.
for a little bit. And is a little bit 3 years, is a little bit 7 years, is a little bit 13 years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like we were given that,
Yeah.
but I feel like I just don't hold it tightly because you never know. You know how like some families, they're like, you know, when like their kids start having, when one couple starts having babies, like their parents will move to their town to like be near them and their kids.
Right.
I would feel so uncomfortable with your mom or my parents doing that because I just don't know what God's gonna do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I would worry that they would do that and then God would be like, I'm actually gonna send you here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
I was thinking about that last night. I was like, oh man, I want, like, it would be cool if like we had one of our parents.
Come live here.
Yeah.
But we don't really, we're not, yeah, we don't
We
even
don't know what God is going to do.
I know to some people this sounds just like completely wild and foreign because, you know,
I feel like
their home and their life is all they've ever known. But then there's also like this whole aspect where there's clearly a call of God on our like life in our marriage together. Where God is like we've just
He's
our story has
full
been
control.
so yeah.
He has
Our story has been
full-
so like not normal.
he has like the only say.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, not like final say, like only say, you know. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like some people just plan their life and go with what they have planned.
Right.
And I've just like, we can't do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I feel like I get really overwhelmed sometimes thinking about like what our future will be because it's so like up in the air, you know?
Yeah.
Like where we're going to be, what we're going to do, how long we'll be doing what we're doing.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Man. At this point, we're just still figuring it out. But I think that's also what makes our life so, and our marriage so, I feel like great and amazing. Is, you know, is the fact that we're like our marriage and our happiness and our life is not in your hands and it's not in my hands either. It's in God's hands. And there's something really like exciting about that. It's not just nerve-wracking and it's not just wild. It's actually like really great. It's fun.
I feel like we both had a really hard time with carrying the weight of each other's, of the other person's like feelings about our life. Does that make sense? Like when I moved to New York, you felt really bad that I was like, felt really like kind of lost.
Yeah.
A little. And then when we moved here and I was working and I was busy, so I was keeping my mind off of the craziness, I felt bad that you were like kind of figuring it out. Well, at this point, we're both figuring it out right now, but I still felt bad. And I feel that less a little bit now because I just realized, man, neither of us have say really in it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you're right. There is that where, yeah, we do kind of like feel bad. But then there's also like an aspect of, you know, I know that the Lord can take care of you way better than I ever could, you know? So I'm like trusting him in the future with you, our life is kind of a joy in some ways.
Yeah, my friend Megan, she always says, you know, I was talking with her about how you have all this time to make all this music and how the Lord really did set you free from certain things that you were carrying to do this music. She always says like Mal, if Christian hadn't met you, like he wouldn't be where he is. He would have never left. He would have probably never given himself the time to do the music, and that makes me feel like, oh, yay, and like, oh no. I feel both bad and happy at the same time.
No, I wouldn't feel
about
bad.
it.
I wouldn't feel bad at all. I think she's completely right. Yeah.
I don't think you ever would have freed yourself of any of those responsibilities on your
No.
own. I think you would have always just kept doing what you always knew, the only thing you knew. I think you would have kept doing the only thing that you knew to do.
Yeah. But I've talked about this before, but it's like, the music and making music and the music industry is such a vain industry, sometimes. And it's such like a, it could be such like a narcissistic kind of thing for people. So and this is also a little bit where I struggle with like feeling like I don't really have like quote unquote what it takes to be a full blown like artist, because I don't feel like I am that way, and I feel like you kind of need to be that way,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Before we keep going, let's do an outro clip so that if it dies, we can just wrap it up,
It's not gonna die.
Or runs out of storage. The 40 minutes.
Okay.
Or do you want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
Okay.
Do you think we're gonna keep going longer?
A little bit.
Okay.
Not a ton longer.
Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
Okay. Well, how about now? Do you have any questions to ask that we can both answer?
Do I have any questions?
Yeah. This is like your interview, but I figured you could ask some questions too if you wanted.
Let me think. Okay, what has been like something that really took you by surprise with Minnesota and your full-time job? And because in a lot of ways, this is kind of what you were praying and asking God for. So what were some things that were like a surprise to you?
I think I was surprised how few married couples we'd meet right away, our age.
Yeah.
I think I was like hoping for more, which it's okay. Like it can take time. I feel like I'm putting pressure on it to be quicker than. And like we've met a lot of great married couples older than us and dating couples our age, but I think I have been surprised by that. I think I'm surprised by how much pressure I feel with the job, with how easy it is for me. If the work itself feels really easy for me and very like, yeah, sure, this is so easy, but it feels like I feel like so much pressure all the time. I have a hard time like not thinking about it all the time.
Yeah. So like just the pressure of it all.
Yeah. I think the things that are life-giving are more life-giving than I thought, and then the things that are not as life-giving are
Worse.
harder.
Yeah, harder than you thought they would be.
Yeah. Like those worship nights that we do, I'm like, wow. And like youth, that's a cooler feeling than I've ever felt. That's like, it's just such a, like so affirming that like, yeah, there's nothing I would rather be doing to be making money. But it's also funny, like whenever I come home and I like spend the day here at home, I'm always like, wow, I'm also so happy here at home too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That would be my answer, I think.
Sweet.
So I think the harder things are harder than I thought, and the easier thing and the better things, fun things are more fun and better than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you have anything else?
Let me think of another question.
We're going to have ice cream after this.
Yeah.
We were going to have it for this video.
It's okay.
I'll ask you one in the meantime.
Okay.
Like, how are you processing right now being in like like almost what feels like a stop and restart in like your life, because you know, you were working, you had a job, and you were like doing this like ministry thing, and then you like stopped, kind of like the people we were watching.
Yeah.
When he like stepped down from his job, and he was kind of like, man, I'm in this totally new like time. Like, what are the emotions you feel around it?
Let me think.
And how do you feel about being just in Minnesota, period?
Okay. Yeah, I guess the way in terms of the first part of that question, the way I feel about just everything coming to like a stop. And honestly, it is a good feeling, because you know, the pace that we were running at in New York was into a lot.
Do you think you realized that at the time?
No. I mean, I did,
Even
but
though
not
life would tell you all the time.
Yeah, I knew. I definitely knew. And I had moved away from home before, and I've lived other in different communities, different lifestyles. Not like in a weird way, but just like different, like going to college and stuff like that. And it like I definitely knew life at home was like crazy. So like going back home, I knew it was crazy, but like not really to the magnitude
I
of
think
what.
you knew it was crazy. I don't think you knew it was as detrimental for your like well-being as it was.
Yeah. I don't think I realized how much it was actually like I guess hindering my what I've always wanted to do, which was make music. And that's probably the only thing that is like really truly life-giving for me. We had a whole podcast with Travis about that because I feel like I do a lot of things.
And a lot of things well.
Yeah, and I do. I feel like I do a lot of things pretty well. So it was hard. It was hard for me to realize that making music is the thing that actually gives me life at the end of the day. I wouldn't say it was hard for me to realize, but it was probably hard for me to admit. But yeah. So I didn't realize in New York how it was really like. I don't think I was ever going to make music and living the way we were living.
I would tell you to, and it would never happen.
Yeah, and then there's no, New York would have only been about the church we were at.
I don't think we would have been able to separate ourselves from it.
Yeah.
Because I remember thinking I really wanted to I really loved like being there. Like, and I tell people, I'm like, I think had circumstances been different, I could have seen us being there like always. I like it there, but like I remember just thinking I don't want to fight over, like, how do I say this? Like your first almost, like the first of your energy and your heart and your capacity. I didn't want me and our like kids to like get whatever was left of you at the end of every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, because at the end of every day in New York, I was very depleted, which was just like exhausted or just tired. I had nothing else really to give. Yeah, but going back to what I was saying, yeah, the thing that I didn't realize was how much it was actually killing my ability to like make music. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you excited for in the next year or 2 or 3 or 4?
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see. In a lot of ways, I feel like this life here that in Minnesota that we're living is still being formed. We still quite don't even know what it's going to look like. We were kind of talking about it before. So, it's like I'm excited to see what it actually is. you know.
Yeah, I feel like we have a like a routine, like a daily routine, but we don't have like a vision for where it's going right now.
Yeah. 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 So I'm excited to see what that looks like. Yeah, I am excited for, like, I think all the things that, like, we get to do now. Like, we're doing the podcast. Like, I'm making music.
We record covers all the time.
Yeah, we record covers now.
We spend a lot of time together.
Yeah, yeah, and
We lead worship together.
we lead worship together. We recorded that one vlog together, so that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah.
And who knows where all that stuff will go. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the music that will release as well. That I will release, and you too. And yeah. What about you?
What am I excited for?
Yeah. Wasn't that the question?
Yeah, I'm excited to see like what these little things we're involved in like blossom into.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see. Honestly, I'm curious to see like what long term is going to look like. Obviously, of course, everyone wants to know that, but like for all we know, God could have this for us long term, and He could be like, rabbit trail, plot twist.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens with your music. I'm looking forward to feeling more confident and established in my role too.
Yeah.
I'm excited to not feel like we don't know where to go and what to do sometimes here, because sometimes I feel like that.
Yeah. I think that also is probably from the change of pace that we were talking about earlier, where it's like, what do we do with all the time that we have now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So all of that you're feeling might not all be bad. It could just be normal. Maybe this is what normal people do.
I feel a little
have
like
to think about what to do during the day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice. I think I have one more question and then we're done.
Okay.
What how do I word this? What has being the leader of our household looked like here? Because it's way different than New York.
Yeah.
And it's way different, even the transitions that we've had to make, the decisions we've had to make. We're past all those crazy decisions right now.
Yeah.
And we're just doing life. And I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of working.
Yeah.
Kind of not working. So.
Yeah. If I'm being completely honest, I'm still figuring it out. I guess right now it looks like walking in obedience, which is what every, I think, good leader does, because every leader has a leader, and ultimately it's the Lord. And so, like, I guess for me, it's walking in obedience. Picking up as many like jobs as I can, while also trusting and prioritizing that I'm supposed to be making music. So that I'm still figuring out. But just on a day-to-day basis, I mean, I try my best to take care of the apartment while you're gone. There's been a few days where she came back and everything was like not done. Like, the dishes were not done, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Maybe we'll do this again.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
All right. See ya.